My apprentice was pissed last week. He texted me like Sunday afternoon. Was like,
because we didn't record.
Where's the podcast? We have our listeners, what few there are very loyal.
There's like 5 and they're loyal.
Yeah. Stephanie at work.
Oh, really?
She's a big time. Yeah. Well, she said that she hadn't listened in a while. She's like, and I was like, for a split second, I was like, how do you know about my pot? And I was like, oh yeah, freaking friends with Jake, obviously.
Oh yeah. Should we go here?
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
Well,
Live.
We're already live, but now we're recording and live.
Live action.
Recording and live.
Oh my god.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we missed a couple weeks.
So last week we were in Vegas, or I was in Vegas. And
Aaron was in
guys.
Vegas.
What was the week before? I was in Vegas 2 weeks in a row.
You were in Vegas for 2 weeks.
It was like I was there for 10 days.
Did you win anything? Did you gamble? I mean, I know you gamble. Obviously, you can't go there and not.
I lost $50.
That's pretty good. Fuck, for 2 weeks?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I hardly gamble at all.
But you're at the track most of the time, right?
Yeah, I put 10.
So this is like the Winter Nationals or whatever they call it.
Yep.
Really, for real?
Internationals. Yeah.
He lost $50 at the casino, but he lost. I mean, how much did that fucking trip cost?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah. I was thinking about that.
It cost $1,300 just for fuel.
Dude.
Holy
shit! Yeah, you stop every few hours and fill with diesel, and it's $300.
How much coke do you have to sell in your neighborhood to pay for all this?
Not very much.
It wouldn't surprise me if your neighborhood was a good market, if you know what I'm saying.
It would. How would it not be?
How many people in Maple Valley?
Middle class depressed housewives. Of course it is,
dude.
So speaking of that,
maybe not coke, but there's an audience.
So speaking of situations where you kind of go, I didn't think that sort of person was into that shit. I was at the 76 station. They're in Four Corners,
Yeah,
by the Fred Meyer and everything.
Been there many times.
Yeah, that's you can buy propane there
and propane accessories
later in the day than you can at the Chevron, just in case.
Good. Hold on, let me write this down.
Go ahead. Everybody, did you hear that? Repeat that again.
If you try to buy propane and propane accessories at the Chevron past 6 p.m., they will not let you. Like, well, the guys aren't here. I can't do it.
Oh, because they can't go out and do it because there's one employee.
Yeah, maybe. But at the 76, they'll do it for you till 8 p.m.
Okay.
So I showed
up. Where are we going with this?
At 7.
This is great pod.
I needed to fill my motorhome with propane because I had an issue going on and I needed to test it. And so this is after Vegas. I'm pulling up there 7:00 at night, Maple Valley, 76 station. There's a guy in front of me in line. And he points up behind the counter and says, I'll have a blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know what he said, but he's like pointing at something and says it as if it came out of his mouth regularly. And the person behind the counter grabbed one, and she reaches up and grabs one of the dick pills from behind the counter.
Like the horny goat weed or whatever.
Yeah, one of those.
Gas
make
station.
Your dick big or whatever it is. Last longer, be bigger, or whatever they are. And I always thought to myself, like, who buys these things?
Did
and
you
I
get
had
a picture
in my mind.
You should ask for a selfie with him.
Oh,
just totally throw. Hey, can I get a picture with you?
And the funny thing, it kind of quieted his voice a little bit when he said it, but he still wasn't like super.
She's like,
because if it were me
Howard.
and there was anybody else in the store, and I wanted to buy one of those, I'd be like, I would have got in line and been like, oh, I forgot something. I'm gonna go over here and get something else, and then come back
wait
around.
For a homeboy.
Nobody's around before I buy my dick pill.
But I mean, if you're buying dick pills at 76, I don't think you're too self-aware of who's around you.
But that's the funny thing is that the guy
kind of given up on life.
He looked like a sharp dressed, like
sharp dressed guy with a little dick.
But he didn't look like the kind of guy who I had picture would buy.
Well, maybe
gas station dick pills.
Well, maybe he just
hilarious. He was well dressed and he was younger. He wasn't old, right? He was just like he looked like he was our age.
Dude, he just wants his dick game. He doesn't want his dick game at 95. He wants it at 100. He's going to do everything he can. He's a perfectionist.
That's the discount dick game right there.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know.
So you got your propane and you had somebody to
Yeah.
judge
Yeah.
silently.
So then, judging from that, maybe there are some people in Maple Valley that could use some cocaine.
Yeah.
Time
Well,
to
there's a
time.
hell of a story.
Guaranteed.
That's a long way around.
It's
I'm glad you got your propane though.
Thanks. It didn't.
Did you
solve the
figure?
problem,
Did you
no.
figure out your leak or whatever?
No, my generator is broken.
Oh man! So how much does that add to the
Who
Vegas
fucking
trip?
knows?
I got one. I'll
Something
sell
is
you.
always broken on a motorhome or a boat, or it's just one of those things. Always.
You know the old adage. I mean, you can't once you're married, you can't say it, but
Right.
flies, floats, or fucks, you lease it.
Lease it.
If it fly, yeah.
That's the old. That's the
Goddamn.
old like
I've
boys
never
club
heard that. I
saying.
thought
Really?
You're gonna say the best day of my life was when I bought my boat and when I sold my boat, or something.
No,
like
there's
that.
there's that. Yeah, there's two best days you own a boat:
Flies,
the day you
floats,
buy
or
it, the day you sell
fucks.
it. No, but there is an old saying: if it flies, floats, or fucks, you lease it. And then
I
that's
like it.
that's for like it's for like guys who are moving and shaking and
Right.
think they're the shit.
Right.
Like Ira.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've said that so many times.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
Yeah.
Now
No,
we're all happily married, so that doesn't apply
Not
to
at
the
all.
last part.
not at all.
And the motorhomes don't fly or float, so I guess I shouldn't even have brought that up.
Oh.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have a motorhome or a boat. Neither do I.
I never will.
We're happily married. That doesn't apply to us.
I
You'll-
understand
wait a
why
minute,
you do because you
Yeah.
use it enough
I-
and you have it's almost a tool for the job.
It's hilarious that I have one. I would have never thought.
Strictly
that I
for
would
recreation,
have one.
I would never have one. With all the apps now and sharing where you can rent one for the weekend and rent somebody's boat,
Yeah.
I would never own one ever. But
No.
I get it for you with the kids.
Totally. Yeah. It makes perfect.
So did they win? Did they place? Did they show? How's
they
that work?
transferred.
So
So that in the racing world,
They
that's
had-
good.
is that a medical
from
thing?
from the slow race.
That's
to the
really
fast
young,
race.
man.
So there's
That's
like
really
it would be like
Transfer. Who's transferring?
you're part of the problem, Aaron.
it would be it would be like in the college basketball bracket.
Okay.
They went from the round of 64 to 32 and then again down to 16.
So it means like they moved.
Yeah.
They graduated a couple levels.
They were out in the Sweet 16, pretty much something like that. It was
Okay.
like they did
more like
good.
the bittersweet 16. Right?
Yeah, yeah. They did good for them, but
Yeah, which is saying, I mean, you guys are still only in your second year
Yeah.
doing this as a national event. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
there's people at these national events that
How come you didn't go, Ira?
spend
I don't
thousands.
have enough. I'm not rich like my brother, clearly.
Somebody's got to step
No,
up and make
It's
money,
not
right?
true at all. He totally could have gone. He has just as much money as I do. My parents are there. Everything.
Ira has a net worth now. We had this
Dawn
discussion.
Talked
Yeah.
to Sarah about going to Vegas, and Sarah was on board. There was no excuse whatsoever that Ira couldn't go.
Sarah did. She was
Except that
kind
he's-
of on board. She was
Except
kind-
that he's smart and he won't go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you see all the people living in the tunnels? That's what I would do.
No.
I would get in one of the 3/4 midgets, put on bright ass like a light bar like Ira hates on 4-wheel drive trucks, and just drive through and terrorize all the junkies. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
You seen those shows?
No.
No?
Uh-uh.
Oh my god. Are you serious?
people. What do you mean shows? People
Do you not know what I'm
people
talking about?
terrorizing.
No, the shows about the
Oh.
people that live under Las Vegas.
No,
No.
I've seen people
There's full on like
in Las
thousands
Vegas.
of no.
If you walk too far
saw
down the
people?
strip and end up
Yeah, you saw
in the
people
wrong
Vegas.
area, then you'll see junkies and homeless people.
No. There's a legit community of people who live under the city in
Underneath.
all the sewer tunnels and all the And luckily, since they're in the desert, they don't worry about water coming through too much. But there's been tons of documentaries and stuff, and it's super dangerous. People hiding from the law.
Really?
They live underneath Vegas, and I'm talking like thousands of people, maybe tens of thousands of people.
Holy shit.
And I'll have to look it up here in a second. But they're all junkies. They all have problems, obviously. And there's like it's funny because I forgot what I was watching. I think it was something on Netflix, but there's like one tunnels for the heroin users because they hate the tweakers, and then there's one tunnel for the tweakers, and there's one tunnel for who are cokeheads, whatever else. But there's a full on like society that lives underneath Las Vegas, and it's people who've come and crapped out and had drug issues after that, or people like there was one guy who was running from the law in Hawaii. I gotta find this, and he was running from the law in Hawaii, and he was literally like, "You're gonna go to prison
Mm-hmm.
or you bounce," and he took off and has lived underneath the streets in Vegas for 5 years, and they come out to get stuff, whatever. They go back in the tunnel. He's married. His wife has no teeth left, obviously. and they have all this. They have like a dishwashing section. They have like a kitchen, a living room, and it's all tarps and shit that they put up. It's hardcore. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ingenuity of some of those people it's pretty impressive.
Don't fuck with a tweaker. They will build anything.
Here's a
I mean, it
YouTube
won't stay
video.
standing very long, but they
Sure.
Yeah.
They are
Homeless
resourceful
people living
and
in storm
motivated.
tunnels underneath Las Vegas.
No, they're like
They had to send the Teenage Mutant
Voice
Ninja
of
Turtles over there. They'll
America.
clean that shit up, no problem.
Oh, Vice
They're
did
the
a story of
kings.
it. That must have been where you watched
that too.
The kings of the sewers.
How many people live under Las Vegas?
Google doesn't know. Fuck off.
Deep beneath Vegas's glittering lights lies a sinister labyrinth inhabited by
Sinister.
poisonous spiders and a man nicknamed the Troll. Tunnels are home to 1,000 people who eke out a living under the strip's dark underbelly.
Scorpion-filled tunnels gained notoriety in 2002.
Yeah, they would have
Jimmy-
scorpions, huh?
Or Timmy
It's a fucking
TJ
desert,
Weber
yeah.
Fuck
used them
off. Go to New
evade the
York and hang out.
police.
But it's you know,
Murders.
the weather,
Right.
Vegas. It's
Yeah.
you can do that year round, basically.
Hawaii. Hawaii is the shit. If you want to,
Not for that guy.
Obviously.
No, he had some
It was
crazy
just
drug
built
charge that
back
was
in the
gonna.
90s. That's kind of funny. In the 1990s, Las Vegas began building storm drainage tunnels to protect the tourist destination from raging flash floods. You think stuff like that.
So then
was
they
built a
also
long
have
time
found
ago,
like
but-
tunnels from all the old mobsters and shit from casino to casino, and
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, it's pretty fascinating. But I was just picturing myself terrorizing people, putting a light bar on one of your midget cars, and just running through those tunnels and pissing off all the junkies. It'd be pretty fun.
yeah,
Just get them all.
Yeah.
But people get shot in there. Like that part wouldn't be fun. But people
True.
get straight up shot at and chased out of there because there's people that don't want to be on camera. They're going through with the camera, and the guys like ran him out of the building and he's like, "What happened?" He goes, "You almost just got stabbed." And they went and played it back, and some guy was like pulling a knife out and shit, and they got him out of there because nobody wants to be on camera. It's hardcore. It's hardcore.
From the law, and they're like, "You motherfucker."
But
I just talked to a homeless dude the other day, actually, in the store. It was so funny because I'm standing in line, and the line is long as shit for some reason. It wasn't like before Thanksgiving or anything. It was way before that. But I say to this guy, I'm like, "Man, I picked the wrong time to go to the store, huh?" And he's like, "Oh, it don't matter to me." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he goes,
I got
"I'm
nothing to do.
homeless."
I
And
was gonna say it's like the
"Jesus
equivalent
Christ." He
of
said, "I'm
vegan. Like
homeless?" Yeah.
wait till he drops it. Almost like the vegan thing. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
bring it up in your second sentence.
Yeah.
As soon as someone says like that,
Yeah.
don't matter to me. Like a leading thing where you're like, why doesn't it matter to
Yeah.
you? Like, oh god
Yeah.
damn it.
Oh, I
He
hate
was really
those.
proud to say he was homeless. Well,
Of course he
But
was.
Did he look homeless? I mean, did you
No,
already
not-
kind of know he was homeless?
no,
or- oh.
not really. But it was pretty funny. But
And then he asked for big dick
he
pills.
says but he said, "Yeah, I stay out right out there in that Ford Explorer."
oh boy.
I was like, "Well, that's your problem." No, but he
Should have bought a Chevy.
nah. But he said, "Yeah, you know, I can only stay here for so long. You know, after a certain time, all the
Yeah, they run
All
him
the-
out.
well, no, not it's not even the store. They don't really care as much.
The other homeless
teenage,
people?
It's the teenage kids, the punks from Enumclaw with their lifted trucks.
Police in the streets.
Yeah, dude, they come out and just hassle them. Like for no fucking, they're just.
Yeah.
Those kids are doing the Lord's work.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean,
I
if you
thought
don't want to get hassled by teenagers, I guess don't be homeless, right? I mean,
I guess
there's your
so.
life lesson
I
for
had
you.
the thought though. I was thinking, you know, teenage boys. When you think back to how we were, teenage boys do kind of suck.
Oh hell yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they're such.
They're the worst.
They're playing their
They're
role.
such dicks. I
They're
mean,
the worst.
you know, we're all pumped full of hormones and hubris and
Well, and they
Every
don't
other-
know anything. They
Yeah,
don't know
but-
anything. And they
but-
think they know
and they
everything.
think that
they know,
which is
yeah, that's-
which
this
is
This is
the
a really
worst,
get off my lawn
worst
moment.
worst
but,
combination. Well, but
but it's true. No,
it is so true. I was just talking to
So was
my
that the end of the story?
19-year-old
It was just a
apprentice.
long-
Shout out once again to Garrett. Hey, Garrett. We were talking about this. It's
Garrett,
just
you don't know shit.
yeah. And I was it's like, dude, don't take. I'm trying to. After I say so many times, I'll say something really dickish and go, "I'm sorry about that," you know. But I didn't mean it like that or whatever. That came out wrong, you know. But I told him I think back even to when I was an apprentice and I was 26, 27, and just I would open my mouth sometimes
Where's this going?
and I would say something. My foreman would insert no. So I would open my mouth and I didn't realize what a jackass I was until years later.
Oh, for sure.
And then I find out the truth of something like that same
And
situation.
you're like, how
I
many
see the big
times did I
picture.
say
Yeah. And
that
I was
to
like,
people?
or you're
God
like,
damn it.
yeah, you're really clung to an ideal, or
Yeah.
like you think you know this thing, and then
And they probably
Yeah.
remember that to this day. They're like, that punk ass Ira Potter told me that this is this way.
But they probably knew better because they probably did the same thing. You know, there's a
sure.
certain kind of person where you're confident and everything, and I appreciate that. I want my guys to feel comfortable being able to talk, being able to tell me what they're thinking. I like the open dialogue
Right.
because I think they learn more. But every now and then you're just
I told somebody that they were wrong one time when they told me that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust.
did you?
I said, no way. I said that. I was so confident. I don't know why. It was like the number to me in my mind of 6 million seemed way too high. And I was like, it's more like 600,000. 6 million? Really, dude? Go fucking read a book. What the fuck do you know?
Seriously?
Like, totally. Yeah. And then later on, like years later, I'm like,
Oh
holy
shit!
fuck.
Oh my
It's
God.
totally 6.
there's not even 6 million.
Everybody
Jews
knows it was
not
6
even
million
6
Jews.
million Jews on the
And I
planet.
was like,
you moron.
dumb fuck.
I didn't
You
know.
know what I mean?
I
Like,
didn't know we did a show with a Holocaust denier.
yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
guess. Hitler did nothing wrong. You piece of shit.
Wow, I
But
can't.
imagine what that guy think. And I was a bartender at the time,
Oh
just
god,
after
You're,
college.
you're supposed to
This
be
guy probably
wise when
thought
you're a
like-
bartender.
yeah.
You're supposed to give people advice.
advice on Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been there, buddy.
That's I can't think of anything specifically because there's probably so many. Because it's just my personality barely now as an adult is to listen second. But
Mhm.
before when I was younger, I wouldn't listen at all.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, nope, this is how it is, and I had my mind made up. And
Yep.
I can't. There's probably so many things that if people from back then could be like,
Think
if
back.
there was a good Netflix documentary about me, they're like, that guy's an asshole, and he thought he knew everything. So there's plenty of those examples.
We're
I'm
all,
sure.
I mean, we're all three kind of like that anyway. We're kind of like, don't tell me what to do. Like when I get my heart set on something, I'm fucking doing it.
yeah.
And so imagine, being like that and
When you
being
don't know shit,
stupid
yeah.
and being really stupid. It's just like,
Yeah.
man, I think
Luckily,
back and-
I survived. I didn't get shot or killed or stabbed or anything.
yeah. I mean, you learn the hard way, and I just so many younger guys. I'm like, please, for the love of God, listen to me. Like, don't do what I did.
It's
Don't be
very
like
much
I
like
was.
that young lion thing, though, to an extent. Like you go into society and you just want to know where the line is. And I don't know if that's the best explanation, but that's kind of what it feels like looking back at it. At the time, you don't realize, but when you look back at it, you're like, oh yeah, I was just trying to like. You're trying to see what that line is before you get popped in the mouth, because you do it as a young boy, and you wait till your dad smacks you one or something, and you're like, oh, okay, there's the line, let me tiptoe across it next time. But as a young adult or whatever you want to call it, when you have a driver's license or even when you're 21 and you can go to bars and you're still, you're not fully developed, but you think you are, and you're just full of giant balls and whiskey or whatever.
Right.
That's about the worst combination. But you're trying to find that line. I mean, I remember one specific thing. This is a weird memory, but the band was on tour years and years ago, and I used to be really into the kind of look of rockabilly-ish. I would wear like a bandana in my pocket, and I had I dyed my hair black and had a big pompadour and stuff. And it's silly to think about now. Everybody was kind of doing it at the time that was in that scene, so it wasn't weird to that group of people, but we would go other places, and when we toured, we would go to other cities, and where not Southern California, everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, it almost looked like cartoon characters.
Yeah.
But I specifically remember I flew to, I flew to the South somewhere to meet with a concert promoter. We were going to plan this tour for East Coast and Europe or something. And I was coming back, and I was meeting up with the band is what it was. None of this is relative, except I was by myself meeting up with the band. And I was flying back to California, and I was going to get a puppy. I had been like Craigslist or something. I was going to get a puppy. Yeah, no shit. So I come home, and this dog, and the dog was in the hood in LA, like Compton, Compton adjacent, South Central area,
Right.
and it was a pit bull. So the
The
story just
213.
gets really good.
You were in the
You
213.
don't say. It's not like you're ever going to see a goddamn golden retriever. And
Yeah.
But
Compton.
I get off. I get off the plane, LAX. I get in my car and I drive straight to wherever it was. It was Slauson. It was straight up like South Central. And I'm dressed like I was dressed for the shows, where I'm in the full, not crazy cartoonish, but I had a bit of a wallet chain and I had a fucking rag in my pocket, a red bandana in my pocket.
You idiot.
Luckily, I had it on the wrong side, and of course, I'm not
Right.
claiming anything. I'm not in it, but I went to Compton on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock
Use a fake
with
blood.
a red, with a red bandana in my pocket, and I knew what I was doing, and I knew that I was a white boy, and I knew that obviously I wasn't gonna be mistaken for a gang member, but I also knew I shouldn't fucking be there and shouldn't be anything dressed anything like that. And I did shit like that, knowing that like,
Yeah.
maybe something's gonna pop off. It was that like pull your dick out thing. And I look at it now like I could have easily just been killed and just been a statistic. Nobody would have said anything. No one would have walked up like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You just
been
die.
Like, oh, look at this dumb motherfucker.
You just
Boom.
die. Yeah, you just die. And I think about stuff like that now, like, what the fuck was I doing? And that's the one thing that stands out to me the most. But
That's funny.
there's a ton of those things where you just, or you're driving a car and you shouldn't go fast and you break your wheels loose around corners and shit that you would never do as an adult. Because now you go, shit, there could be a crosswalk, stuff you don't think of that,
I should have run over and killed 1 million people.
Dude,
yeah.
The times that just pedal to the fucking metal.
Yeah.
And just let her rip. I
like those Cannonball Run guys.
There's no way I would do that nowadays.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Those guys that crossed was it 27 hours, 24 hours, something like that?
That was impressive. Their maximum speed was like
I got to read that for people that don't know.
160 something.
Yeah, they had an E-Class, Mercedes E-Class AMG, which is a pretty sweet car.
It was a E63 AMG.
Oh,
yeah, it was the
E63.
V8
But
supercharged,
They had
and
a silver
beefed
one
it
though,
up.
and they took all the badging off, and they took the cool wheels off, and everything else. It looked like a total grandma car, and then they just rallied that thing across the entire.
They call it the Cannonball Run from New York to LA. These guys did it, averaging 103 miles an hour the whole time, and not a single ticket.
Averaging.
That
And they have
counts.
spotters, and they have
That
guys in
counts
the
slowing
car.
down to zero to get like
to get gas.
to get,
and
yeah.
everything else.
That's
insane.
And guys have been doing it for years. They've been doing it since
They were finally.
the 80s.
Oh, they did get pulled over at the end, but they didn't get a ticket. They were finally driving the speed limit when they got pulled over in LA, of course, because they probably didn't have a front license plate.
Right.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they had radar equipment.
I
that
was kidding.
Insane.
I was joking. This is fuck you, California. I was totally kidding. They were finally driving the speed limit when they were pulled over. The license plate holder slightly obscured the state name, so the cop pulled them over.
What a
Fucking LAPD.
Oh my god.
God damn it. I was joking. Assholes. Just like that cop that got the pig thing on his cup this last week at Starbucks. Did you see that? Some cop got a Starbucks order or whatever, and the sticker said pig on it. And the cop that got it, didn't think much of it, right? He's like, oh, haha, okay. Don't spit in that cop's burger. He goes back to the station or whatever it is, and the chief or whoever's in charge, captain, I don't know if it's sheriff, whatever it is, he's the one who was outraged and called the news and made this big deal about it. Well, that chief of police or whoever that was, his daughter, his estranged daughter, came out and said he is a pig. He should get, and it wasn't the guy that got the cup. She starts in about how he abandoned his family and all this shit. She's like, he is a pig. It was so good. It was so good.
What you get, stupid.
But these guys crossed, I guess it's been done like 11 times or something, but they broke traffic laws in every state. It says they used a ton of illegal scanners and stuff to jam radar.
We're talking aircraft. Yeah, they were trying to, and I mean, that's the thing.
E63
that's who
AMG
gets you. Yeah, it's when you're way out there in the country, it's the aircraft.
It's made for the Autobahn. They call it the Autobahn machine. Yeah, so you're already like
Kansas
rich guy doing this shit. Like, let's see if we could, you
can
buy your way out of the tickets.
One of the guys in the video, they were like, oh, hey, they called this guy up and they're like, you want to come with us across the country? And
60-gallon gas tank.
And he's like, yeah, I don't have anything to do. It was like the day before. And he's like, sure.
Asshole.
Who is in that situation where you don't have anything to do tomorrow? Like, yeah, all right, I'll go.
They removed the Mercedes logo from the back and wrapped silver vinyl over the taillights to conceal its profile, making it look more like a Honda or Volkswagen.
Yeah. Yeah. They said
That thing did look
like a
just like
Honda Accord.
yeah, a very
That's ballsy though. I mean,
vanilla.
that's one of those things where anything could go wrong.
Yeah.
You could wipe out a family on their vacation and it would be a tragic thing, of
They
course.
said a deer. They said
Oh yeah.
in that video, they were like, there were so many deer. Like when you're going through, whatever, Iowa or
I didn't even
whatever.
think
and
about
stuff,
that,
they're
yeah.
like, there were dead deer everywhere you looked. It was like, during deer season. Or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, you turn your head and look, and there was dead deer. That we were gonna hit a fucking deer and die.
That's one of those things though where it's like I tip my cap to him, like, all right,
Yeah.
you made it, you did it. You shouldn't have, but all right.
Yeah.
It's cool people are still doing risky shit like that
Yeah,
and like
totally.
rich guy sports, but still,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
rather do that than get in a fucking sailing club or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 140 150 miles an hour was really when they were up and
That's
cruising.
nuts, man.
That's what they were doing most of the time.
No.
That is so fucking fast.
Average. of
I mean,
over
any
100
little
miles.
bump you're going over, like you must. I mean, most of us would shit ourselves.
But
I've-
could you
I've
imagine
never
too the
driven
adrenaline?
140 miles an hour.
You're also not sleeping
Yeah.
because the adrenaline of not getting caught, working all the stuff to not get caught. You're probably working in shifts or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
That is like you're
And-
awake
and you're-
until you get there.
And you're concentrating so hard, like looking at the road, looking at stuff,
not
like
hitting a
making
deer.
sure- Yeah.
Fastest I've gone is 162, and it was on a motorcycle.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did it
I've
one
been over
time and I-
100 a few times, and
I puckered too
Car,
much,
but-
and on which I was glad. That was another dumb thing,
Right.
right? I got it back in the day. I had like a '99 GSXR 750,
oh yeah.
and I'm 20, whatever, right? Stretch a road late at night. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. I just dropped it, and it digital speedometer. And
Right.
it gets up to 162, and it's doing the 162, it's 63, 62, back
Yeah.
and forth. And I remember lifting my helmet up just enough and kind of looking over,
Yeah.
and me turning my head made me change lanes because the wind.
Ooh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh shit. I
Yeah.
shut it down. I probably did that fast for, it felt like 10 seconds. It was probably 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
Dropped it back down. And I was like, man, imagine hitting this is California,
Yeah.
like a
Anything.
shitty bridge
Yeah.
transition or not a lot of deer in the road, but anything runs across the road.
Cat,
like,
possum,
you're
something
fucking
like that,
dead.
yeah.
You're dead.
Done.
You're absolutely dead. And I
There
was
were
like,
two
never
guys
again.
going down 167 one time at night, and they got off 167 and took the Highway 18,
Yeah.
and they were fucking
Look it up on a map, people.
flying by me. They just like rah, rah. One guy went on one side, the other guy went the other side, and they were like dicing through traffic, and they just leaned over and took the exit ramp and stuff. And I was just going, "Fuck, dude."
Do you I know you probably do. Do you have a slight split second of jealousy though?
Oh yeah,
You're like, oh no, I wouldn't want that to be me. But
Yeah.
for a second, you're like, God, that'd be really fun.
Uh,
But no, I don't.
Absolutely.
I wanted a street bike so bad when I was younger, and I never got one. It's probably a fucking good thing because
Yeah.
everybody I knew,
Yeah.
100% of all my friends that got a street bike laid it over,
My brother's
Crashed.
fucked up really bad.
broke their shit
to
all
this
up
day.
and stuff, broke an arm, broke a leg, broke a back. I had one buddy broke his back on one.
Fuck. That's one of those.
And you don't even need, it doesn't
On-
even need to be you being stupid, which I would have been.
Yeah.
Which would have totally compounded the likelihood that I got hurt. But other
Remember-
cars like just come pulling
It's
into you,
everybody. It's
you
everybody.
know?
Yeah. My brother got hit in California at like 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an
Yeah.
hour, maybe. And he's barely has, well, he's better now, but he didn't have a use of his leg for a year or two.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
Cat Williams on his one special, he got a bike and his buddy kept telling him, he's
Yeah.
like, if you ride, you were gonna fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah.
It's
Why you
like,
gotta say it like
it's
that,
not-
Ira?
that's what,
Jeez.
well, that's how he said it.
Racist.
But it's the truth. I mean, it's not a question of if, but when. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
it's especially if you're
It's what kind of makes it
kind
fun.
of pushing it.
That's what makes it fun a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they're really, I interrupted your story, sir.
No. I was done.
That is one of those things where there isn't a feeling that matches being on a bike with wind in your face, all that kind of stuff. There's nothing that replaces that.
Yep.
But the risk is up there. So it's like in Washington here, it's not a big deal to have one and be out away from. I wouldn't ride really in Seattle or anything. I have, and it's not fun. But
Mhm.
out in the country, it's fun.
Yep.
But then you start worrying about deer and things like that because you get hit with a deer, one set of antlers it's through
Yeah.
your chest, and you're over
Yeah.
with. So it's like riding at night out here, and out in Washington is
Mhm.
pretty dangerous during certain times of year. But there really isn't anything that beats it. So you know,
It's the
Yeah.
feeling of controlling something that's out of control, just like Cole Trickle said.
Cole Trickle.
Our hero.
I will probably buy a Harley again at some point
You know, one of the greatest
for that reason.
Yeah.
one of the greatest quotes is in that movie when Nicole Kidman, when she
Nicole?
tells him off, she's like, "You said you wanted to control something that's out of control. Is that right?"
Was she Australian in
She
the
goes,
movie?
Let me out of the car, Cole.
She
Let me out of the
was,
car.
Let me out of the car. And she says, "Control is an illusion, you infantile egomaniac. No one knows what's going to happen
Wow.
next."
I think he's seen that movie a couple times.
Not on a racetrack, not on an airplane, and certainly not on a racetrack with 40 other infantile egomaniacs.
Yeah.
It's a great quote though, because it's the truth, Jake.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody
shit.
knows. Nobody cares.
I just watched it a few days ago because we were in the motorhome, me and my dad, and we were driving down to Vegas by
Have you
ourselves.
seen
and
the-
no movies except for
Paul
all
Newman
the kids'
documentary?
ones? No.
It's called
Oh
Winning.
no, but you told me about
you
that.
did mention
Yeah.
that, and we need to watch it. Yeah.
It's really good.
Sounds
It's
good.
It's really good. But then there is a segment in there about Tom Cruise when he was filming Days of Thunder and how he actually raced for a while under Paul Newman's team, and he actually won one thing,
Really?
but he wasn't good enough, and he crashed really bad once. And I mean, not that he wasn't good enough, but it's really dangerous. And he
Mhm.
crashed really bad once, but not bad enough to fuck himself up. And he was like, "Man, this pretty face. I do too many movies." And all the insurance companies that insure him for the movies were like, "You can't fucking do that anymore."
Yeah.
And so he quit. And that was kind of the end of it. But it was right around the Days of Thunder time when he did
Yeah,
it. But it's a
surprised
good
me.
documentary. You should watch it. You won't, but you should.
I know. I have no time to do all that. We got to work on little kids' race cars all the damn time.
Uh-huh.
If so, I have no segue for this. Are you guys ready?
I'm not surprised.
Are you
All
guys
right,
ready
we're gonna
for
change
the?
gears. Let's
Hold on. What's this segment called again?
let's read our sponsor read
Is
first,
this-
and then we'll go into your
Is this the weekly Misogyny Corner?
yeah.
This is the Misogyny Corner.
Misogyny Corner. We do
first,
need some
this
like intro music.
podcast is brought to you by
Tampax.
Dick Pills.
Tampax and dick pills. Here's Misogyny Corner.
Sam,
Brought to you by Extreme Sexual Energy.
extreme gas station dick pill.
It's funny how they do everything, right? You can't buy a drug that does all that shit. I mean, I don't think you can, but
Oh,
it's like
the gas station dick
what does
pills
it do?
claim to do.
it gives you a hard on.
Yeah.
It makes you last longer.
It makes you
it
last
makes you
longer. It
bigger.
makes it longer.
It
makes
gives you more
curvier, it makes
confidence.
everything.
Makes your hair grow back.
Yeah.
It makes
It-
people call you sir.
It changes your motor oil for you.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So
You'll gain 30 points on your SAT.
I was talking to somebody and the idea came up that we've all heard it, I'm sure. If women were in power,
Oh,
then
this is a good one.
This is
none of
Misogyny
this.
Corner.
I told you it was.
Oh,
He's preparing for
I
his
wasn't-
weekly
I
segment.
wasn't joking. This is
we got Get Off My
But-
Lawn with Jake coming up too. So get ready for that, folks.
We got Facebook jail coming up.
yeah.
so this idea,
If women were in power,
women were in power and not men, we wouldn't have all these problems. We wouldn't have all these wars. We wouldn't have all this poverty.
Okay.
how so?
All of this.
'Cause
That
women
was
can be pretty fucking petty. I mean,
that
are-
was
are you-
my argument. That's what. So I'm
Wait
like,
a-
wait a minute. Now,
Wait, so
in
you're
my
saying that you heard this somewhere that
Yes.
people said there
Somebody-
would not be wars?
no,
people would
well,
be-
I've heard that somewhere, but it came up in a conversation, and it was very just sort of glazed over. Just
as if it were
somebody
the truth.
squeezed
Someone
it
was
in.
like, oh yeah, by the way, blah blah blah. Everyone knows this. If women were
Yeah,
in power,
but
wouldn't be war. Oh, and
very
and then
subtle.
They changed the subject.
Very
You're like,
subtle.
Wait, hang on.
very subtle, and I'm not
Not
gonna.
true.
Yeah, it wasn't enough for me
Women
to
are-
start it. Yeah.
Human also.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about it, and didn't start an argument.
Was it the guy in the Ford Explorer?
Yes!
I'm homeless. And
Damn
by
it.
the way, we
Yeah.
all know that if women
I
were
didn't
in
want
charge.
to out him like that.
Yeah.
Poor Daryl in the Ford Explorer. Well, everyone
Yeah.
knows where he lives now.
Yeah, that's true.
So what was the point? So it angered you because you think that women would start wars also?
Because that hasn't been my experience at all. Like the idea that women are just
Yeah.
peaceful and cooperative. I'm like, what the fuck women are you
Yeah.
hanging out with? From the time I was in high school until now. I mean, I'm the one that's legitimately just trying, like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'll give this, and I don't want to take that, and I don't want to rock the boat, and let's just be cooperative, and I don't let them have that, whatever it may be. And my wife is like, what?
fuck
you.
that. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's like what?
We were in Vegas and there's
So your
a
wife
bunch of-
represents all women? Is that what you're saying?
All I'm saying is the idea
There's
that
no
women are
evidence
not
that-
right.
Yeah. We were in Vegas.
You know why there's
and
no
there
evidence?
was-
Because they don't let any women win, you guys. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Kamala Harris was going to change it all until she dropped out.
Let's
But
just-
everybody's against her
It's-
because
this
she's
is
a black
Trump's
woman.
America.
She's a black woman, so everyone's against her. She
You know what
couldn't get a
else
fair chance.
is Tulsi Gabbard has been on the Joe Rogan podcast now like 3 times or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, he fucking loves some Tulsi. I have not listened to one
She's
purpose.
pretty good. She's pretty good.
Fuck
she's
you,
nice.
Aaron.
Nice person.
She's the
She's a
Danica
Democrat,
Patrick.
too.
Danica,
She's a
Danica Patrick of
Democrat.
politicians.
The funny thing is here's
There
the
you
thing.
go.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah.
I'm
she's
just saying.
she's hot and
She's hot for a politician.
she is a female. She is a person of color. She is a veteran.
I hate that phrase
She is
so much.
Oh, I know.
so
I'm,
much.
I'm saying all this because
Look,
it
I'm a
plays
person
into-
of color too.
Whoa.
Multicolors. Okay.
I'm saying this because I'm pandering to the left.
I got
right?
you.
She fits checks every box that the left
Oh yeah.
should need to check to be completely and utterly on her
Yeah.
side. right?
Absolutely.
But her talking points, there's just a few things that she's not quite Bernie-ish enough on. So
She has a brain and she thinks for herself.
The left
She doesn't
will
just
not.
regurgitate shit. Yeah.
I mean, if they would just support her, she'd stand a really good chance of winning. But the left just won't do
No.
it, and it's fucking hilarious to me. It's like, what else do
Because
you want?
Hillary won't give her a pass.
Totally,
Yeah. She doesn't pass
What
the
else do you want out of a
sniff test
candidate?
or whatever.
you know.
Well, you know what I mean?
But
The one
anyway,
with
I was
Jock-
gonna say though, before I was rudely interrupted by both of you.
I was
kidding.
rudely interrupted too.
That's the whole point of this
on
right
the
here.
Misogyny Corner.
How many times an episode do we fucking walk all over
Probably.
each other? Okay. Okay,
Um,
go ahead. Aaron.
There's a family that we go racing at our local club, and so there's friends that we've made that are the local families, right? So then we travel somewhere to Vegas. There's always some of our local people, and we have the largest club, QMA club in the country.
Okay.
That's us. We're
Yeah.
the largest region. We're the largest club inside that region. Like Little Wheels Quarter Midget Association is the biggest in the
Graham,
country.
Washington.
Huge. So we have a lot of families there. So when we
So
go to
you
Vegas,
walk in like you just took big dick pills. and you're
yeah,
like,
there's
we're
like
here.
9 families or something that traveled to Vegas this last year. So there's a bunch of families that we're all friends with and everything. Dawn is sitting downstairs. I went to bed with the boys. Gotta get up early, whatever. She's down there with her friends, hanging out, drinking and whatever. And this chick from one of the other families who we hang out with all the time. They're like not like best friends, but they're pretty decent friends.
Yeah,
of
you
ours.
think you know him pretty well.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
And this lady out of the clear blue sky decides, I think I'm going to tell Dawn everything that I think about her. I'm just going to lay it
boy.
out. And she's like, you're a stuck-up bitch. You think you're better than me. All this other kind of stuff. And just fucking absolutely just lays into her, apparently.
And Aaron's through the
Over
curtains like,
drinks.
oh shit.
Yeah. No, I'm asleep. I have no idea any of this
Yeah.
is going on. Dawn
Oh, I
comes
thought
in.
you paid her to tell her that.
Oh, yeah, right. But yeah, it's at 2:00 in the morning. She
That's
comes
my
into the
truth.
room and she's all stumbling around like, she was so mean to me. She was
Yeah.
so mean to me." I was like,
So everybody just
go
overdrank.
to sleep. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, pretty much.
But but to your point though, yeah, like she was really nasty to my wife for no reason at all. And Dawn had never done anything to her whatsoever. She just is a bitch and just wanted to tell Dawn, like, I think that I don't know. There was no reason for it whatsoever. And I found her finally. She was hiding from us. I swear to God, because she was
Probably.
She probably woke up the
ashamed
next
of what
day.
she
and
said. She was like,
"Oh,
"Oh Christ, why did I
shit."
say all that?" Right?
Yeah.
But I finally found her, and I walked up to her, and I was like, "What the fuck was?"
Oh, you
that?"
did?
Yeah. I was like, "Why did you do that?"
Was it like when everybody was sober, you called her out, or was it
Yeah.
same night?
Oh no, because this is 2:00 in the morning, dude. I was like, "Fuck." When Dawn came into the room, I was like, "Just
He
go
was
to sleep. I don't fucking
He was
care."
asleep, Jake. Follow along with the
No,
story.
I thought he got up and like put his robe on. It's like, I'm going to defend you. And
No,
went
no,
outside.
No, fuck that. I
Slept
don't
in the
really care that
whole-
much.
oh, yeah, when she came back in.
No.
That's what I thought. I was like,
Okay,
hold it.
fair
You
enough.
just sit there, honey. I'll be right back.
No. But
He goes and punches
this
her in the
is
fucking
days
face.
later, right? Everyone's talking about it because it's like, why would she be that much of a royal fucking cunt, right? And I was like, because she's a
that's
miserable,
such a good word.
she's a miserable person.
Yeah.
And obviously she's
Mom and
very
Rachel.
unhappy. I mean, I know this person, and while I like her, it's pretty obvious what happened. It's just, she's a miserable cunt. She hates her life, so she wanted to take it out of my wife.
Do you have her
obviously.
number so I can text her the
What's her
link to
name
this
again?
video?
Yeah,
I want
what's her name?
to text her the link to the
But-
video here.
What does she look like?
Yeah.
Give me a hint.
But I finally found her, and I was like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm a bitch. I should say sorry. And so she did finally, and everything's fine. But it's like,
It's fine until they
Christ
drink
almighty, yeah.
again.
It's kind of
yeah.
it's
probably.
kind of fine. You think Don's gonna
Yeah,
just
but it's
totally
like-
forget all that?
No,
shit?
no, because she finally went back and she apologized to Don and stuff, and Don was very and that's where Don is good about this stuff, better than I would be. She's just like, all right, cool. I mean, I accept your apology, but we're not friends.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it's good that she.
nice.
That's a
But
good kind
you
of
don't have to like me. She
balanced
said.
way
We
to.
don't have to be friends.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we weren't fucking nasty to each other all the time. So this is good. Let's not be nasty to each other, but cool.
There is.
Now that you mentioned,
She-
I don't really like
She'd,
you either.
give her a hug or anything. Oh, sweetie, it's
Yeah.
okay. It was like,
Yeah.
all right, sweet. Well, I mean, I appreciate that, but
They didn't
fuck off.
make up over mimosas or
Yeah,
anything.
But yeah,
Yeah, that
there's
is good.
No way. There's no evidence whatsoever to the argument.
I would
women
argue-
would be better than men as far as
Now,
No.
granted, this is from one very narrow perspective, but I would argue that I think it's because if that was two men, that's the only difference, right? It's two guys. Everybody's over drinking still. The women go to bed, and there's two guys out there, and one guy says, I think you're a fucking asshole, and just lays into you. There's probably going to be a fist fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a drunken, sloppy fist fight, but there's going to be a fist fight, or somebody's going to get thrown something at or something. That generally, not that women don't do that, but that's generally not a option or a threat
Right.
in female confrontations.
Right.
I'm younger, yeah.
And when they do,
Adult-
it is hilarious. by the
Adult
way.
female women, though,
Mhm.
don't throw down, so to speak.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think maybe to both of your points, that would be the biggest difference in. I think women can be nasty verbally,
Yep.
but I think there's not that threat of physical altercation where you're going to get punched or worse
Mhm.
that there is with guys. And it kind of keeps guys, not that guys are in check because we deal with it different ways,
Mhm.
but I just mean in the general sense, I think that is probably a rule of thumb that keeps more of that from happening because
Oh, yeah.
someone's going to get punched if it's two guys out there.
Exactly. I mean, think about in a construction site, for instance. You think
Right.
those guys are going to have any qualms whatsoever about decking you in the face? I mean,
No,
but if you say something,
but that's a specific group
egregious
though too. If you're in a
enough,
room full of
yeah.
NASA scientists, nobody's probably going to get punched.
yeah, it's less likely. But yeah, we have to have
In a
that.
fucking
We are
room
held.
full of GEDs.
We're
Someone's
held-
getting punched.
The consequences for us are greater. We really could get our fucking skull stomped in.
Yeah,
Women, it's not.
that's
But-
why we run the world, though.
But we run the world,
That's why
or
the skull
maybe in a lot of cases,
Except for that Beyonce song.
the women are behind the scenes and they're pulling the strings. Women aren't doing it themselves. They're fucking paying men to do it,
Mhm.
right? I mean,
Is this back to Epstein now?
no, this is back to Tanya fucking Harding.
Oh,
Wow.
he had that loaded and ready. This really is Misogyny
That's
Corner.
what this episode of the podcast is all about. It's Tanya Harding.
Oh man,
Tanya
She
Such a
Harding.
didn't,
timely
she didn't
reference,
walk
too.
up to that. She also didn't hire a woman, did she? She hired two big ass dudes to beat that other. Dang it, with Nancy Kerrigan's
Nancy
knees
Kerrigan.
that was
which would have
that is pretty like you-
which
nice, nice. Dude, we should deep fake. We should deep fake that and make it a commercial.
Yeah.
absolutely
good.
Pod.
That'd be perfect. All right, you got some editing to do.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of those things that when it happened, you're like, oh, that's crazy. And you look back at it now, you're like, that is fucking brazen. That is
Yeah.
insane, like Jerry Springer shit.
Yeah.
That at the time, I mean,
They made
see
that
that
movie with
movie?
Margot Robbie, and
Yeah.
I know I need to. I'll bet it's fucking brilliant because it paints her.
You didn't watch it?
No.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it paints her in the true West Virginia style white
She-
trash that she really
Oh
is.
yeah, because
I like how he says it like everybody saw it. You didn't watch it?
No, well, I know,
Come on, yeah.
I know,
Well,
but
I
you
didn't
didn't
from-
watch it either.
from-
Oh,
from
dude,
what
it's
little
such
I
a
s-
huge.
How do you make
deal.
a movie out of that? Like, I get what happened. I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours and have
No,
you.
it's good.
No
You
fucking
need
way.
to watch it.
No.
So The funny thing is,
it seems so fucking good to me. How do you?
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
I
crazy.
can. Yeah.
The idea. So figure skating is a very highbrow sport, right? It's like what would be the equivalent?
Equestrian, horse jumping
Yeah,
or some
okay.
shit.
Only rich, fancy people do it.
Okay.
Fucking
Only.
Yeah.
And
polo and shit.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
It's not
like-
that
yeah.
big. But polo's
Yeah.
kind of the
It would be
ultimate.
like
quarter midget racing. Yeah, it's up there. Same thing.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Quarter
it's
midget
a-
racing is
Quarter midget racing is
on
only
asphalt.
blue
That's on
collar
ice.
people.
It's the same thing.
Which is
it's
why Dawn
expensive.
gets berated in Vegas by other people because she has, a $200 down jacket that she wears and she injects. Shit
It's
into her
hood
lips.
rich. It's not hood rich. It's white trash rich. What's the equivalent saying? It's
Cracker rich.
hood, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It's
Hillbilly-
all
hillbilly
trades,
rich.
Hillbilly rich. Yeah, totally.
Anyway, what
but-
were you saying here?
But figure skating is only rich people, and
For
this
sure.
chick was like the one in the history of mankind.
Oh, that was
person
like white trash.
who was totally white trash, whose mom decided, oh no, I'm going to make her a great figure skater, and then,
Yeah.
force her into this.
That's a
And
weird
Her,
goal.
totally. Her mom was a fucking psycho.
That's what
Psychopath.
There you go.
a lot of Chinese figure skaters, huh? Same kind of thing. China,
Yeah.
they're like ding dong dong, they
Wow.
fucking whap, smacking them with sticks and shit, like back on the ice, you bitch. China, it. That's why she was so successful.
All right then.
Anyway,
That's how
sorry.
Chinese people talk, in case you want to know.
That's the other Margot Robbie thing I will not watch though. Is that new Fox News movie that she's in?
What?
The it's got a one word title, but with the fake Megyn Kelly and fake Nicole Kidman. She's in that too. It's the brand new about all the sexual assault at Fox News, and it's Charlize Theron.
What?
Yeah, come on, seriously.
No.
Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, and Margot Robbie, and they're playing the hot blonde Fox News anchors. They're playing Gretchen Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and I can't remember which other one.
We
right
gotta
now.
guess. We have to guess the title. It's called
It's one word.
Assaulted.
No, but I'll
It's
tell you.
called-
Keep guessing.
It's called Right Wing Whores Part 5.
That's the other.
That's a
called-
porno. That's a porno.
Oh damn it! It's called blonde and all about the Middle East.
I didn't even realize there was a lot of sexual assault going on.
It's
at
called
Fox News. It
Chicks
makes
who
sense, though.
support Israel.
It's called Bombshell
Bombshell.
because it's like the blonde thing,
Boring.
but also like, hey, guess what?
Every chick that's on Fox
Yeah.
News, with exception of the one that's actually really smart, the lawyer lady that was on there.
the
years ago.
Judge Janine, whatever.
No, she had her own show. God damn.
No bullshit.
Most of them are all absolute bombshell
Yeah,
beauties, and then you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
guys like Bill O'Reilly, who obviously
well, not anymore.
was up to some shit,
Yeah,
and then he's gone down.
30
right?
some $1 million worth of shit,
Whew,
maybe literal shit.
that's
for-
a lot
for
of
that
shit.
price.
$30 million bucks.
Yeah, it had to.
But
been
yeah,
some-
there's
a lot of
there's
grabbing
there's a
butts and
dirty.
It's a Me Too movie,
Yeah.
but it's all about the time when Trump said whatever about Megyn Kelly's period and all that stuff, and it's all about when they were at Fox News and how that Roger Ailes guy was basically had his little harem of people that he made suck his dick to get on TV. Basically, is what they're
Roger Ailes was the CEO. You have to. Nobody knows who that is.
Google it, man. I don't have time to tell you the whole story.
I'm lazy.
Roger Ailes was
He was the
making
CEO of Fox
women-
News or Fox.
Yeah, he was
Fox?
well, Rupert Murdoch owns it, but he
Right.
was like running shit there. And John Lithgow plays Roger Ailes. They put a big fat suit on him and stuff.
Yeah, it's-
And there's this one scene with Margot Robbie's character where he's like, I need you to prove your loyalty. And then like they cut away and she comes out like, but it's called
That's like
does the
That's like-
quintessential.
she doesn't really
that's
do that.
like
but
on
basically.
Team America World Police. He's like, "Are you ready?" And he finally remember that
No.
the whole freaking thing. He's like, "Gary, please, I'm not from Hollywood. I'm not trying
Oh.
to fuck your mouth, and my time is extremely valuable." But eventually, at the end, he's like,
little bit.
"Are you ready to prove yourself?" And he's like, "Yes, I am." And just like gets down on his knee.
But it's essentially a movie about that. And it's a very like, again, it's a thing that can be discussed, but we've
did
discussed
this
it
come
to a blue.
out?
It's out like now. It's brand new. I went the other night,
Crazy.
went to the movies the other night, and that was one of the previews.
Because what else is Margot Robbie in right now? There was something in the news where she didn't have enough lines in a movie or something, and people were like, "Oh, see, she didn't have any lines in this movie."
Are you
until
talking? No, you're
30
talking about
minutes in, and
Anna Paquin and the
Oh,
Irishman
God.
movie. That's what you're talking about.
oh,
Because
maybe.
that was the story, at least
There's been
this
a few.
week.
I've heard of a few where people are just
Yeah.
like the Twitter sphere, especially on Twitter.
Yeah.
Watch every single movie apparently, and are with a fucking stopwatch.
Yeah, of course.
And are saying no woman has said a line
Yeah,
yet. No woman
absolutely.
has said a line yet. And it was one of them was
That's why we have
Mandalorian.
Misogyny
Mandalorian.
Corner.
The Mandalorian is one of them, and then it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Yeah, I remember that.
and it was like
It's
that
fake
one
outrage
was
every
a
time.
while ago
Yeah.
because then they were saying how it must be that Quentin Tarantino is like
Hates
a total,
women.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh really? And then I even
No one saw Kill Bill.
I never even tweet anything, like hardly at all. I just lurk and look at people's stuff and everything.
That's not
and whatever. Yeah, but I actually tweeted on that one because I was so fucking.
Did you
blown
feel
away.
better after you did that? You're like,
Yeah.
here's my 2 cents world.
Yeah, it was like Kill Bill.
Nobody cares.
There were others too. Like what other like he's done a ton of movies with
He always has strong women.
insanely strong women leads.
Always.
And it's
It's
like
pretty
you
clear.
fucking idiots.
He practically worships at the altar of Uma Thurman.
Totally.
Correct.
I mean,
But that's why we have Misogyny Corner, because we balance out the
There you
Twitter
go.
sphere that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But speaking of social, if we must. So I caved.
Socialism?
I caved and I got a Facebook account again. As
Oh,
much
that's
as I've
true.
talked about not having one, I've been doing a lot with the band and promoting, and I've built us a YPod page and whatnot. I kind of was like, man, so my wife's opening a yoga studio here in town,
Yeah.
and she had to start a Facebook recently to start a company page. And I didn't realize, or I forgot, or whatever it is, but I wanted to start a page just for the band and kind of like, hold my nose or whatever and use it for promotion, because it really still is, everybody's there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, let's see if I can make a band
Where
page.
the people are.
You cannot have a page without a private page. So you have to have a private Facebook to link any band page, any promotional page. So I caved and I started a Facebook page, as you know, because I friended you.
Yep.
So now we're really friends. But
for real.
I was on there and I literally was like, I'm going to use this to promote the band, whatever. So I started the account. The picture that I uploaded from my profile picture was a picture that was a professional photo of me on stage with my other band, but it was under lights and whatnot. So it was really a finished photo. That was the only picture I had. And the only real posts that I was putting up in the first 12 hours was like, here, like this page. Here, I only will send you my podcast and my band. That's all. I won't send you Farmville. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. I won't send you any games to play or poker or whatever. I just like these 2 pages, and then I'll go about my life and you go about yours.
Yeah.
I guess that was too much. So I get a note from Facebook that says, you're not allowed to use Facebook right now. Like you're off. There's something wrong with your account. And I'm like, all right, this is literally the next day, or maybe not even, maybe 24 hours after. And I'm like, what is happening? Okay. No explanation, right? And so there is no chat with support. They're like, hey, you need to upload a photo of you so we can verify that your account is you. I'm like, all right, so here's a picture of my face, a different picture. We'll get back to you, right? That's all it says. I'm like, what is going on? Did somebody hack my account? Like, my password's pretty strong.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what's going on for a whole day. And then the screen changes and it says your account has been deactivated. And it says, if you think this is in error, click here. And so I clicked the thing, and it says the reason my account is deactivated is because they thought I was impersonating a celebrity, because the only photo I had was a professional. They thought that the person in the photo wasn't me, and that it was like some celebrity. They didn't say who, but it was the impersonating celebrity, because I didn't have any other pictures of me. There was no post like, here's my dinner, nothing like that. So my only post was a professional shot, but there's no way to contact Facebook. There is no way to chat with us for help. There's no phone number you can call. It is really freaky.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at this like, this is a really weird situation where, I mean, I guess is the whole argument behind social media, but they have all your information. It's a free service, so it's not like you can get indignant about, I want access to my, it's free, right? You didn't pay for it.
Right.
but it's a really weird situation. Like I can't log in and it just says your account. So yesterday I finally had to upload like 2 or 3. I had to upload a picture of my driver's license. I had to upload other photos of my face and then the picture that was me on stage and like, look, follow the breadcrumbs, you fucking dipshits. This is actually me. And so I get something like, we're reviewing your, we'll let you know. And it's like, I didn't want a Facebook anyway.
Right.
And then I reluctantly like, all right, I'll get one for the band. And then I start using it to promote the band. They're like, no, you can't do
You
that.
walk in.
Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what is
Goddamn,
going on here?
I really don't want to be here. Right when you walk through the door, they're like, bink, bink on their
Yeah.
fucking head. You're like, God, I didn't even.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest
you
thing.
guys.
And I think the thing that did it is there's when you go to your whatever page you make for your business or whatever, there's a
Mhm.
button that says invite your friends.
Yeah.
So you click it and it lets you pick how many you want to invite. I did that for the band and then I switched over to the podcast page and I did it for the within like 12 seconds of each other, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Rep,
Yeah.
you're promoting." It's like, I clicked
like
the
a
button
bot.
you gave me. You gave me the button
Yeah.
that says invite your friends. You
Yeah.
didn't say there's a time limit on when, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so somebody is like sitting at their computer at Facebook and it's
It's
like,
a-
we have a bot here.
I think it was just an algorithm or something that caught it because it wasn't
Oh,
a
that's
human. It said something about
I wish
like
it
a
always
human
was a
word.
human, though. That would be
know.
even funnier if
there
they're
is, it's got to be algorithm though.
like,
Yeah, you're like,
God.
if something hits these certain parameters and stuff, it's like, it must be a bot.
The
Shut
worst,
it down.
the worst part about it though that bothered me was I was upset that I couldn't use Facebook, and I was like, God damn it! This is that
You've had
feeling.
Facebook for 2
Yeah,
hours.
I
and
was
you're already like, oh, I miss Facebook.
Well, it wasn't that, but I had
Well, you
started
couldn't-
conversations with other. I'm
Yeah.
planning a tour for the band to Oregon, so I'm like talking to other bands. I'm trying to, and I'm literally just cut off, and I'm like,
Yeah.
the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
It was really weird. And then there's bars where I'm trying to get the band booked and stuff, and you go to their website and they click it and it sends you to Facebook, so you can't communicate with their booking agent
Yeah.
any way but Facebook. And they're good, like big prominent places I want to play, and I'm like, I'm in fucking Facebook jail until they
Yeah.
decide, or then I got to make another page and go,
Right.
hey guys, and then all my friends are like,
Make
man,
sure
fuck
and
you,
take
I'm not gonna
pictures
like
of
your
your
page.
dinner.
Fuck you, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't know how long this is gonna last, but maybe the digital cuffs will come off sometime this weekend.
Yeah,
Facebook.
hopefully.
Just go to There's a big old Facebook building in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. You can go
Just
there.
stand outside.
You can get a
like
huge
South Park.
piece of cardboard and cut a hole in it to where you've got big piece in front and a big piece in bottom, and you can write in huge black marker,
It's
give me
me.
my page back,
yeah.
or else.
Come on,
right?
come on,
And
Zuck.
run in there, and then when they tackle you, just
Maybe that would
just
work.
let go and just start weeping and saying, I just want my voice. You took it.
It's because I'm a white guy, right? That's why.
Definitely.
I
Well,
could make it racial.
if you see, the
Yeah.
thing is, if you
being
might
discriminated against.
be a bot, they're like, that bot's gonna vote for Trump, and they're like, ah,
Yeah.
right? It's got to be. It's Russian. It's gonna influence the
Oh,
election. Get it out of here.
I didn't say anything political. It was literally like, please like my band and my podcast. That was it. And then like, cheat, you're cut off.
yeah, how
so-
the fuck could that be?
I have
That's
no
how it
idea.
starts.
Maybe
Well,
I'll find out. Maybe I don't get an explanation because there's so much like you cannot contact. That was the
Yeah.
most frustrating part. There's no customer service. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm not a customer. I didn't buy anything.
Right.
I'm not a customer.
Yeah. They don't know you shit.
They're like, you're cut off the teat. Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
That was a weird feeling.
It,
So-
same thing happened to me to a lesser degree, but PayPal, it was like something funky happened. They're like, we suspended your account because of
Drug trafficking money.
suspicious. No. So, but I go on there, I do what they tell me to do, and then it says, okay, it's under review. It's been like fucking 4 days. Like, I got shit that I want to buy and sell. You assholes. Like, what? Come on. What? Hurry the fuck up.
Do you do a lot of PayPal transactions?
No, that's why I hadn't used it in forever. I didn't even know.
And now you want to?
Now I want to. I need shit and I need to sell
Just
shit.
switch to Venmo.
I have.
It's fine.
I know, but
Yeah,
I
everyone seems
believe
to have Venmo, and I don't.
Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Oh, sorry, Jake. You don't know what that is.
No, I don't.
Uh,
Thanks for rubbing it in.
Yeah.
I think that what they defer to specifically PayPal instead of anybody. Like
Really?
if you hit the pay button,
Oh, it kicks
I
you
think
to
it just
PayPal.
goes right. Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
most people on there is like, hey, use PayPal. I'm like, well, no, can we use something? Or like, what do I just use PayPal? And I'm like,
I can't.
I can't use
I'm in
PayPal. And they're like,
PayPal
well, why
jail.
not? Are you not trustworthy? And I'm like, no, fuck. It's a glitch. It's not me. And they're like, I don't know if I want to.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
gotta get
sell
the-
this to someone
I
else.
have a
now.
Google wallet.
Yeah.
That I hardly ever use, but Venmo.
Venmo's pretty
Always
cool.
hear
I
about
pay
it.
child
this-
support. I pay child support with Venmo.
Nice.
I really do.
No, but all this stuff is so awesome and
There you go,
convenient,
bitch.
and you get used to it. And then when they yank it away, you're like, no. Like, what am I gonna do? Write a fucking check?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. Wait days and days to.
It is a weird thing, like something that you don't really care about, or you know, until it's taken away. And you're like, wait a minute.
Take it for granted.
And I'm honestly, I don't. The way I feel about the friends on Facebook was all those people. I mean, I like them all. They're all nice people, but they all have my number. Like, if we're really cool, they'd call me or text me. I'm not worried about that part.
Yeah.
It was the like, all right, I'm reluctantly going to go ahead and use this to promote the band, and that is the way to get it out. And then all of a sudden, it's like, nope, you're cut. That's when I got mad.
Right.
But you know, I quickly was like, yeah, okay, I'm not really a customer. They're providing a free service. I can't really get that mad. I need to
That
make
doesn't
my own,
stop
I need
a
to make
lot.
my own Facebook.
A lot of people are just
Yeah.
like, there's freedom of speech, and you're like,
No,
yeah,
it's not. It's not freedom of speech.
though. That is, but a lot of people like it.
If you take your
this
Facebook
should be-
post and go outside and yell it to the neighborhood, that's freedom of speech.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go
Right.
inside and type it on someone else's program, that's not freedom of speech.
Right. People are saying that Twitter should be a
Yeah.
public
Write your own
utility
program. Oh, I know.
and shit.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's gotten so big.
It's gotten so widespread
that
that
eventually
it kind of,
they just go, well, it's so big now. Now they actually do have this social responsibility. It's like,
they can't. The ironic thing is, like,
or
I
maybe
see-
socially we just stop paying attention to them.
I
and
see
then
their
they
point.
don't have the power.
Well, I see their point because any tinkering that they do really does have an impact.
they do
and
have
it's like,
political power beyond what they.
it's a crazy,
You'd
but
think they
but
should.
at this, if you're like libertarian at all, you're kind of like, nah, fuck you. It's a private company. You can't go, you know. But what do you do there? They really, and they've shown it to be true. I mean, if you look into a little bit, their bias towards leaning left wing is so fucking obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook?
No,
just
well,
social
both.
media in general.
Social media, well, Twitter
Facebook
and
too,
Facebook,
yeah.
the two biggest ones, right?
Yeah.
Are just so left leaning.
I would argue that they're not left leaning as much as they're opportunists, and they know that stoking those fires gets more users and drives more
Like the
traffic.
virtue signaling.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think it's all comes down to dollars. I think if it was the other way around, it was Republicans getting all up in arms about stuff, they'd be more Republican leaning. I don't think it's just my opinion, but I think that's it. That's what drives it more is just the dollars and the I hate to quote Rogan, but it's one of those things where they make money and it's beneficial to their business model to keep everybody outraged and to keep everybody upset,
Right.
to keep putting that stuff in front of you.
Yeah.
Like the Ari and the puppies thing. It's
Mhm.
it's one of those, it's the opposite of that. So
I don't think people really care about those leftists. There's not that many people that really care about dead naming or
Right.
but
Which is
but
why
ironically,
it's hilarious.
dead naming is calling
when you
it's
you-
calling Caitlyn Jenner Bruce.
oh,
Yeah.
You will
Jesus
get
if you
banned.
refer to somebody by their old name,
Yeah,
dead naming, you
Banned-
son of a bitch, you will get
Dude,
banned for life,
for life.
on
That's
Twitter.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
the word is
Come
out there.
on.
So
Yeah.
so
Banned
there's
from
that.
on.
That's
They're
that
pandering. They're pandering to this
a
tiny
tiny
fucking-
minority of people.
I want
yeah.
no part of this.
Yeah, and it's
But-
only because those people happen to work in tech in those positions that you know.
But
are-
aren't people starting to ignore some of that?
hopefully I don't know.
Like, isn't there some sort of like,
There is.
go over there and yell? Like, there's
That's
got.
the
yeah,
thing is
there
that most of
definitely-
us do, but these.
But I
But
mean,
Twitter
I think
and
mainstream
Facebook, like, oh god, it's like, dude, shut up.
It's like when
Nobody
you're in,
cares.
when you're in that world, when you're in that little bubble. It seems
You
like
probably
it's
you're right. It
you're
seems like
no,
it
this is a huge deal. Everybody's talking about it. It's like
No, they're not.
They're actually not.
no.
You know,
Yeah, come out to Graham or Enum Claw or
It's
anywhere
more,
other
it's more
than these.
volume than it is like literal volume. Like,
right?
you know,
Yeah, because all these
it's the
fucking
loudest
crazies,
voices kind of thing.
Yeah.
all these crazies, they're the ones that are tweeting all the fucking time. They're completely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, normal people like us got shit to do, right?
Yeah.
So, but the funny
I don't
thing
have
is,
anything
people like no,
No.
you want to
Let's just
fly
do
across the
this all
country
day.
in a
In
at
AMG?
160 miles an hour. So
yes, I do
the
actually.
funny thing
I'm
is,
driving.
there are other companies though, like Dick's Sporting Goods, who's like, we are not selling guns anymore. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, okay. I mean, dude, that's
Yeah.
totally fine with. I don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
right? But you just ostracized yourself from every gun owning. I mean, at least the ones that are. Think about how many people that is
Yeah.
in the United States. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, buddy. It's your fucking funeral.
Yeah.
They will do that. They will make that ballsy of a fucking move. But they'll be damned if they'll dead name somebody, right? I
Right.
guarantee it's like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a term.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where
And people who are not just gun owners, but people who are pro-gun is a huge swath
Yeah.
of the
it's
population.
huge.
And when you
That's
look at
that's
people-
not a partisan thing.
No.
I mean, there's plenty of Democrats
No.
that own guns.
Oh yeah. And you look at the percentage of the population that's offended by dead naming, it's like this tiny slight.
It's not. It can't even be 1%.
I don't know.
It can't be
It-
1%.
No.
no, I doubt it.
I mean, I didn't even know.
You
what
didn't
it
even know what the
meant.
fucking word was. Yeah.
There are probably,
But I'm in
plenty
Facebook
of-
jail, so
there
I'm
are
not.
probably
I
plenty
have no
of-
idea what's going on in the world.
there are probably plenty of trans people who don't even really care that much. It's all rich
Oh,
white
yeah.
people who are like, "Fuck you, how
Oh, yeah.
dare
I
ya?"
have a few trans friends.
It's
on
a bunch
Facebook
of people
and
that
stuff, and like a few like they'll
Most
post
trans
stuff.
people are so fucking easygoing,
Yeah.
dude. They laugh at everything. They don't give a shit. You know,
Yeah, but there's
they've
a
already been through
tiny-
some legitimate shit. There's like
Yeah.
the things you say on social media, like, fuck off.
All those
Yeah.
people squawking are the same as that lady outside your motorhome at night talking to your wife.
right.
That's who they are. That's
Yeah.
who those people are.
Jordan-
They're so indignant and they're so offended and they're so until they actually have some real shit and they're like, oh yeah.
I was listening to the Jordan Peterson podcast the other day. I don't remember which talk it was.
He's out of rehab now.
There's a lot of them.
No, but he just got so many talks that
No,
that
I
they've
said
got
he's out
enough.
of rehab now.
When
I
they
don't
say
know.
rehab too, I believe he was
in some rehab for not
yeah,
like
but it was,
not
he was
substance.
he was rehabilitating himself because he was
like
fucked up.
real actual like
Yeah.
rehabilitation.
It wasn't
not,
like
he wasn't
substance
kicking drugs or
abuse,
anything.
right? Yeah. When they said that at first, I was like, wait a minute, he's
Yeah.
in rehab. Rehab?
Yeah, no, yeah, he was
Like Robin
You
Williams
knocked him off
rehab?
your pedestal, Ira.
Yeah, no. So he made an amazing point. I mean, he goes really deep with what's really going on in like what we were just talking about.
Mhm.
It's ironic as hell because there was a study that came out. It was some what's it called when they ask a bunch of people
Survey?
a survey. Sorry, Jesus.
No, you're good.
And
Survey
it turns
says-
out that Ira's an idiot. Black people.
Oh, here we go.
People POCs. All right, black
POCs.
people.
Oh,
This is not. This isn't going anywhere. Stop
misogyny
fucking
corner
freaking out.
to racism,
Racism
corner.
corner.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Stop freaking
Racism
out.
Corner is brought to you
First
by
the Chinese voice. First the Chinese voice, and now this. We're gonna lose all our
Black
sponsorship,
people
Ira.
Need to get over slavery. Okay, it was years ago.
First we got a Holocaust denier, and then you're
Racism Corner
doing
brought to you
Chinese
by
voices.
Service
I've gotta go.
Trade.
Service. Oh, dude, we're off the internet for sure now.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking moron. We're gonna
Oh,
get kicked.
okay, sorry. Continue.
So
Continue your hate speech.
The groups of people who couldn't possibly give a fuck about PC culture
Mhm.
are Native Americans, Mexicans, Black people. Like the only people that really care about this shit is white people and
What it sounds like you're saying is
rich.
all the people that we think are victims of this are the people
Yeah,
that
they
don't.
don't give
care.
a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so
They
funny
want to
because
actually be treated fairly. They don't give a fuck about how people talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? Let's
Using the
talk.
right pronouns and
Yeah.
whatnot.
and so
yeah.
here we have also the dynamic here. It's rich, white, well-educated people
Oh.
telling downtrodden minorities
how
to fucking
how
think.
downtrodden they are.
and how to think and what they should be. It's like you're doing the thing
No.
that
Well, of course.
you're fucking telling people what to do. It's like, isn't that completely
Yes.
fucking ironic? It's
You
like,
don't even have to finish. Yes, it is.
yeah.
It's completely stupid and asinine, but those are the people that get the voice.
It's actually racist.
Yeah.
it really is.
There was a
Literally.
chick that was standing outside a
Chick. There we
Ta-
go. See, again,
Ah.
misogyny
I
corner.
don't even realize I'm doing it.
I say chick a lot too, and I always, whenever I say it, I cringe just a little bit. I'm like, I probably shouldn't say.
I should
chick.
probably say woman.
I
There
was
was a woman.
actually kidding, but go ahead.
There was a woman standing outside this
A
Chick
female.
doesn't give a fuck.
standing outside the Moore Theater, and she was saying something about the subjugation of black people and blah blah blah, and like, her and one other this little freaking
Black
white
guy
dude.
walks by her. Shut up, cracker.
Yeah. No, she was a
Cracker
POC.
ass bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, she was.
Yes, but I walked by and I was just like, you know what? And I couldn't help it. I go,
Uh-oh.
black people don't need your help. All right. And she just, and I was like, and I just kept walking. But they don't. They need you to get the fuck out of their way.
Mhm.
Honestly, don't hold them back on purpose. Sure.
It's like
Leave them the fuck alone. Yeah.
Mhm.
it's like anything else where the truth is in the middle. There have been some people who have been groups of people who have been egregiously marginalized.
Absolutely.
There have been.
Absolutely.
And everybody kind of takes a turn except white people.
They didn't give.
And now-
they weren't giving black people home loans. Sorry to interrupt you. I mean, that shit happened. I
Yeah.
mean, there was,
Of course. All the
Yeah.
blockbusting, all that
Let's
stuff,
not
it
do
all
that.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have no real problems anymore.
Mhm.
And so these problems get elevated from a 0 to an 11 because there's no actual fear of eating. There's no fear of, your neighborhood getting bombed from above. There's none of that. And so we sit around and rant and let's create things to be upset about, or things that might be an issue. We elevate them to this point to where all of a sudden now the volume and the frequency is so loud that your entire message is not going to be taken seriously, because now it's a air raid siren that's going off and everybody's just trying to plug their ears.
Yep.
Instead of like tuning into something, let's have a conversation. And well, no, maybe not this. Even not to make this political, but even the way this whole impeachment thing's going, like the Democrat, and just watching as an observer, the Democrats had a case, airtight, pretty much case of just evidence and facts, and they're fucking it up. They're completely fucking it up because they're all in a circular firing squad and they're missing opportunities. And the Republicans are in lockstep.
Yeah.
They have their fucking playbook together and they're pushing right through this thing. And that is how society works.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, when you have a vacuum of actual problems, these little tiny things get elevated to huge things. And all of a sudden now nobody listens.
Mhm.
And that's the tragedy of actually trying to solve problems, is you can't solve anything because everything's an 11, everybody's offended, and then nothing has any real gravity. You can't equate, Louis C.K. jerking off on his own stomach versus Weinstein. Like those are the
Right.
same thing.
Right.
Nope, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind
Yeah.
of weighted system, now it's not a conversation,
Yeah,
except Epstein didn't kill himself.
Have you? Well, we all know that. Have you ever had that situation
Thanks for
where
letting me
everything
rant.
is going great in your relationship with your woman, and going great,
With your chick.
With your
and out of the blue, she'll pull some shit like, "I'm afraid that
Why does your dick smell like somebody
next time we."
Oh,
Always pulling that shit.
Wait, where did you hear that? So we
Facebook. Before I got kicked off.
well
In my
she'll
first
go-
12 hours, I almost friended your wife too. I was like, no.
Ah.
Damn, I
tell-
wonder how that.
You should tell her I
honestly-
held back.
Okay, honestly, don't know how that would go.
I do.
She would
I
probably
know exactly how it would go.
denied. Everything's going great, and they sit there. It's like you're laying in bed, and she kind of turns, and you're just sitting there like watching TV, and you can tell she ain't watching the fucking TV
Yeah.
screen anymore. She's
Like,
looking at you, and you're like,
um,
what the fuck's going on right now? And she's like, honey, and you're like, and she goes, I feel like the next time we have a fight, like, are you going to be able to handle it? And it's like, wait, what? Well, yeah, I'm sure. It's like, well, because last
don't
time
have
we had
this
a
in my
fight,
life.
you really blah blah blah, and and you fly off the handle, and you did this, and you said that, and I just want to make sure, I need to know that the next time we argue that you won't do that. And I'm like, what? No, I won't. And she's like, because you really hurt me when you said blah blah. And you're like, dude, what? Hold on.
yeah.
Are you
Everything's
engineering?
great.
Are we doing this right now?
Shut up.
You're engineering
Yeah,
a
are
fight
you
out of
serious?
nothing right now. Yeah.
That's what happens. People, if there's no
Yeah. If there's
Hurdles,
no actual
I have
conflict.
two solutions for you. No TV in the bedroom and fall asleep first.
Yeah.
If you can do those two things, that won't happen.
There you go.
Yeah, I gotta just
fall asleep
grab
first.
the NyQuil and just
drink
fucking
so much that you
chug.
fall asleep first, and then you won't have any problems.
I like
Yep.
it. Yeah.
No, I don't. I've never had that argument. So
It just, I'm not saying I'd have either. I don't know what makes you. I was saying hypothetically, but
someone's staring daggers into the side of your head.
everybody knows it's like, you know, when things are really good, you are equally as unhappy as somebody who had the craziest, shittiest life imaginable 200 years ago. You know, their child died of cholera and they don't have indoor plumbing. You know, we're just
Or
as
outdoor
unhappy. Yeah. Squat outside in the snow. But we're just as unhappy now because
They all have lawn
we'll
sprinklers,
just
but no,
come up
nothing
with
inside.
problems.
Mhm.
It's like I can't find the fucking remote. You know, like, God damn it. Where the fuck is the remote? Seahawks game is on.
Yeah.
Pissed. You know, or
My motorhome generator doesn't work.
yeah.
Damn
you forgot to pay a
Hugest pain in
bill.
the ass.
Forgot to pay a bill, and maybe your credit score went down 2 fucking points. You're so mad at yourself. Yeah.
2 more points when you lose that white privilege, so you better keep it up.
Yep.
Oh yeah. What's
Yeah.
what's white privilege?
Anything below a 700, you lose your white
700,
privilege. I
yeah.
think.
That's probably a legit number. It's a good guess. Yeah.
That's the real 700 club, right?
Yep.
The 700. That's why they
700
call
club.
it that.
That's why they call it
Holy shit.
that.
Love it.
Pat Robertson's the head of the good credit.
Yep.
He's like,
Is that dude
"First
still
of
alive?
all,"
I don't think he's on TV anymore. I don't think that show is a thing anymore.
he had
But I don't
to
think
have
he
made
died.
enough
It might
money
be.
to
Are you
step
sure?
away. That guy's probably a multi.
Oh
It's
God,
like,
yes.
man,
Oh yeah.
eventually,
He's like Joel Osteen or
Joel
whatever.
Osteen is like the new version, right?
I know we've talked about that guy before, but holy shit, how do you
neighbor-
look
my-
at his face
My,
when he's talking and not
I've
go,
looked at
"You are so fucking full of
Yeah.
shit. Are you kidding me?" And people follow that guy by the
I know.
tens and hundreds of
I went over
thousands.
and talked to my neighbor the other day and stuff. And
Yeah,
he had
I
his
don't get
earbuds in and stuff, and he took him out and he pulled his phone out like this and stuff, and he was listening to a Joel Osteen
No.
podcast. I was like,
You what?
no. I
Where'd
was
you
like,
put the
I thought
body?
I knew you. I thought I fucking knew you.
Where'd you put the body?
Yeah.
I
That-
don't.
Yeah. I can understand. I can suspend disbelief for people who are religious.
Totally.
We've had this conversation. I can connect the dots there.
Yeah.
The bridge too far for me is sending those people the money that you send them, thinking that that's going to affect your life because you making them rich is going to make you. That part is like that's a crazy cult of personality.
Yeah.
It's a weird like Amway style like level of whatever, like multi-level whatever, but it's this crazy
It's
thing
even
that,
worse than that because at least
at least Amway you
in
get
Amway,
soap.
there's a chance you can actually make some money. That
You get that
this
really
is
good
like
water.
Completely, yeah. You're just handing your money to somebody
For nothing.
and saying, "All right, cool. I mean, the universe is gonna." not
It's
the universe,
crazy.
God
It's
is gonna
crazy.
return
And then
this to me tenfold.
for that, maybe you get a Kanye ticket now for your donations.
yeah, probably.
There are people there are religious folks out there that are very influential.
Yeah.
That
You don't say.
that are actually well spoken and very charismatic, and what they have to say is actually pretty helpful in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
And
but-
then there's Joel Osteen.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what? Those
yeah.
two people aren't any fucking thing alike.
That's what I'm
at
saying.
all.
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah.
It boggles my
Your
mind.
local pastor who means well and only touches 2 kids a year is nothing like a Joel Osteen who.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's where we're at.
2 kids or less. So
700 credit score. 2 kids or less.
5 seconds of watching the look on that dude's face, and you go, "Fuck no!
yeah.
Fuck what? No!"
Well, you remember that pastor with the name Dollar, that Creflo Dollar guy?
No.
There's a pastor.
Oh yeah, didn't he have a private jet?
And he needed a G5 and he had a G4 or
Right.
whatever, and he did
I
this
did
thing.
hear
And
about that,
yeah, his his
it
last
was like a
it was
GoFundMe.
his stage name, whatever. His last was Dollar, like Creflo Dollars, and like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, nobody sees through this? And the problem is that the part that get a little bit that gives me a little bit of pause of sympathy is like most of the time these are poor dumb people,
Right.
but then the pragmatist kicks in. I'm like, yeah, it's Darwinism. That if you're dumb enough to give him all your money, there you go.
Oh my God
that's
is
what
an
you get.
awesome God.
That's what you-
Is my God a G4 God? And I was like, no, is my God a G5 God? Let me in there like, yeah. And he's like, amen, brother, the G5 God. That's what we got going on in here.
They're all still driving Saturn View and they're
Yeah.
fucking giving their money up. Like, what?
Ugh.
That's a good place to leave it.
There you go.
Ira
Support your
melting
local
down, not being able to.
Support
your local
G5.
televangelists.
Yep. And don't drive a Saturn View.
Go ahead, send him your money, dummy.
I'm really curious to see what happens with Kanye though. This isn't over as far as this whole. Did you see he had like Fire Festival food?
No.
They did some concert where one of his Sunday service things where the show was free, but you paid for brunch or whatever it is, and it was like a struggle plate.
Nice.
It was like fucking paper plate with Eggos on it and some bullshit. And it was like $50 a head. And everybody's like, what the fuck is this? Straight Fire Festival, like
really?
bologna sandwiches and blowjobs for water bottles. But it was this. I gotta see what happens now. Like I'm in, like I'm watching the Kanye show. Like I gotta see what happens now. But
That's the kind of shit, though. See, not to
him with Joel
go
Osteen
on
and stuff, like
yeah, that's the kind of person you have to be to really get illegitimately filthy rich.
Yeah.
Because guys like us would, I'm pretty sure, and I'm not making an excuse for why I'm not rich here. I'm really not trying to. Maybe I am. But in that situation, could you do that with a straight face? Could you
Right.
do that and sleep at night?
Of
Charge
course
us
not.
money for a
of course not.
You'd go, wait a minute, my name is all over this, right? And you'd go, I can't do that. I can't.
But your name
But
doesn't mean shit.
There
That's
are
why.
other right, but in this situation, there are other people in our. We know
True.
people in our trade and people we've done business with who are like, nah,
Yeah, fuck it.
fuck it.
Yeah.
I do this, I make an extra $200,000. So
True.
fuck off. And it's
But
like,
they're all like, do
when
you really think though that there are definitely those people and they get rich as quick as anybody, but there's also, Bill Gates who probably wouldn't do something like that. Like he really is, I would think, the kind of guy that's like, no, my name is attached to this. It's gonna be done right. and
Maybe
stuff.
he had Epstein killed.
He is part of the global elite, though, so I'm not sure why you bring him up. He's
He's one of the Bilderbergers or whatever. Come on,
part
man.
of the Illuminati.
True.
But anyway, yeah, maybe he is somewhat of a perfectionist.
Just saying, there are those people that would do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are, and
You
and
don't have to be that way to be rich.
There's got to be something because Kanye can't keep this up forever, right? Like,
yeah.
there's got to be these people that are like, Osteen, I'm sure it's like, is this for real? Okay, we'll do this event. There's going to be more and more of these events where people are like, well, he did it with Joel Osteen. He's going to do it, and then he's going to go back to Kanye and all those people are going to be like, oh shit. I'm waiting for that moment. There's got to be. No?
how I don't know.
There's got to be.
The thing about Kanye, and I think this is on purpose, is you have no idea where he's going next.
I mean, that's what happens with crazy people, though.
Yeah, he's legit crazy.
He's legit crazy. He's wearing a lot of Carhartts
like
too lately.
Mad
Really?
genius.
He bought all that land in Wyoming. And all his videos now and all his anytime he's filmed, he's like driving around a Razor on his land and he's wearing like khaki Carhartt
Really?
winter clothes. Yeah,
With
some
a
new
hat.
yeah, pretty much some new music video of his came out.
Money.
Some new
You better count
video of
your
his came out.
money,
Everybody's wearing the
cowboy.
same. They're all wearing Carhartt. Like it was weird.
Wow.
Listening to Old Town Road now.
Yeah.
And now he has Crocs. Like there's some headline the other
right.
day.
All right,
He's in
that's
public
marketing
wearing
his own
unreleased Yeezy Crocs. I'm like, I'm out, man. I'm out.
Wow.
So
I was
out.
a Kanye fan until now.
All right, we can leave it there. Thanks, folks.
Goodbye, everybody.
Support
Goodbye.
your local televangelist and maybe YPod. Send us money.
Hood Famous Bake Shop. Where's that at?